Today in the Exploring Greece series, we are discovering the beautiful regions of Epirus and Thessaly high up in the Pindos mountain range. Our final destination is Ropoto, a village that is sinking due to a landslide that is taking place for many years. Along the way to Ropoto, we will be making a stop at the Stonebridge of Paleokaria, which is definitely one of Greece's most photogenic bridges. This is a series of exploring Greece in general. If you haven't seen the previous episode was in Paxos, and now it's a continuation of the series where we're heading to Ropoto. It's worth mentioning at this point, if you're new to this channel, my name is Johnny, and this channel is all about exploring Greece mostly, but why not explore the world? But since we are here, let's explore Greece together. We are currently situated in Stournareika, a village which is about a 30-minute drive from Ropoto. Stournareika is a beautiful village up here in central Greece in the Pindos Mountains. It's at 850 meters high with beautiful views, and it's the closest village we could find to spend the night before we head the next day to Ropoto, which the next day is today. Now for most of you, it's probably the first time you hear about the village Stournareika, and if it makes you feel any better, don't worry about it, it's also my first time. The only reason I discovered this village was because I was looking for accommodation close to Ropoto, and this was the closest I could find. Of course, this made me really happy because this village is absolutely beautiful, and if you haven't seen Greece on the mountains, you really don't know what you're missing. I mean, just look at the view from the square. I would like to share with you a picture that I took from my hotel room when I woke up in the morning to show you the importance of having a balcony with a view here. I mean, drinking your coffee to this. Obviously, the picture gives no justice to what it's actually like, and hopefully one day I can return to this place because it is absolutely peaceful. Off we go to the Stonebridge of Paleokaria, which is just a 15-minute drive from Stournareika. And the good thing is, if you're heading towards the sinking village of Ropoto, you won't make any detours because this tourist attraction is on your way. Scenery on the road is absolutely beautiful, but keep in mind, if you're a person who gets motion sickness very easily, be prepared for a lot of turns, since in these locations there are no highways or straight roads. But I mean, you are in the mountains after all, so turns and sudden altitude changes is something you need to adapt to. The bridge is accompanied by two artificial waterfalls and stands there since the 16th century. It is a single arched 26-meter long made by stone bridge. The waterfall behind is 12 meters high, and the falling water creates an amazing image that takes your breath away. Unfortunately though, during the end of October I didn't get to witness this waterfall from up close, so it's recommended that you go during the winter months where it rains more often, and here's a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. So even though you don't get to see that beautiful waterfall from up there, you at least get to see it from down here. Even that, we're happy. And of course we're happy because we're exploring places. It's been about 2 years since I found out about Ropoto. I've heard names such as the sinking village of Greece or even a ghost town. When the Ropoto was first built, it stood at an altitude of 750 meters, but today the whole village is at least 40 meters lower as a result of the many landslides that have afflicted the area for the past 60 years. The most destructive landslide occurred on April 12, 2012, and as a result, most of the homes were destroyed. This led to the majority of the population there to evacuate. To put it in simple words, because of the poor infrastructure, the evacuation of underground rainwater wasn't being pushed out to the nearest stream, and because no major interventions were made, this led to a big disaster. This brings me to today, where I finally get to visit this place I've heard so much about, from up close, which turned out to be a lot more different than I imagined. I thought the village would be completely abandoned and that no one would be there, just as I had seen from other vloggers in their videos. This was not the case, but it should be noted that it was the weekend, one day before October 28th, which is a national Greek holiday. Anyways, time to check out the landmark of this village, which is the famous Leaning Church. This church is one of the last buildings that resembles the old days of the village and has shifted 40 meters from its original location with a tilt of a 17-degree angle. It's surprising to see that even though it's experiencing such major shifts, this building looks like it's perfectly intact. From first impression is, as soon as you walk inside, you really feel disoriented, you feel like you're dizzy, you feel gravity really pulling onto you. It's something you cannot describe with words. If you come here, you can only witness it from up close and understand what I'm talking about. But again, this is absolutely dangerous. There is a landslide going on, so maybe when you come and decide to visit, it might actually, fall out of its place. So it's at your own risk, just like I'm risking on my own. Oh. So we're inside the church, and as I said, you feel completely disoriented in here. This is not an effect, this is real. This is no video effect onto this video. Just crazy, the feeling inside this church. The sinking church at Ropoto village. It's a feeling I've never felt before. It's very strange to explain what it's like to stand inside a building that's tilting a couple degrees, There's no way to put it into words. There's also a home right next to the church. And check out this sinking home here. Someone's home. Absolutely insane. And this village was once very famous for its apples. Had a lot of apples, a lot of apple trees. It used to produce one of the best apples in Greece, they say, back in the day. From the looks of it up here, it looks like people continue to live here. And to that, my conclusion is that Ropoto is not a ghost town. Let's just hope they move to a safer location and that a tragedy where people lose their homes never occurs again. And that, everyone, brings us to the end of today's video. In the next episode, we are visiting Pilion, one of the most magical places in Greece. And with that, the final episode to the Exploring Greece series. Make sure to turn your notifications on so you won't miss it, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's explore more places.